I'm very excited to teach this course and share this course with you. I'm Andy Johnson and I'm a senior game producer. The game producer is all about steering the ship of a development team to make sure that the game is developed and created and hits the milestones and the release date. That's the biggest thing. But then also to facilitate and support the team and let them do what they're good at. The biggest thing anyone in games needs is like a passion for games, right? You need to be playing games so that you're staying current and you know what the new feature set is of a new game. You know what best practices are that other companies are using when they release things, and so that you're staying informed. So if you're not passionate and playing games, then you won't be able to stay current, and it will be much more methodical, and then the team will feel that, and it will it won't help you relate to your team. The core thing about being a game producer is you can learn the hard skills like program management, how to use Jira, but really there's so many parts to a game that seeing them all come together is very important. And in test, in QA, you get to see that. You get to see games come together and projects come together more often because you're working usually at the tail end of a game trying to get the game ready for launch. So you see all of the decisions that have happened over the course of multiple years coming together, and then you see the issues. So that progression from QA up into production is quite a natural step if you have that kind of leadership or project program management kind of organization mindset. A game producer is not an expert at any one thing in game development, but they have knowledge of all of the composite parts. So it helps to know some, even if it's based like scripting or coding, some level of art and design. The game producer role and the responsibility of a game producer differs at different studios and on different teams within the same studio. So the responsibility of a game producer is not the same across the board, but generally speaking, the game producer has a very big input on what goes into the game and when it goes in, and then ultimately what bugs are fixed and when the bugs are fixed. A lot of times in game development, you'll be working on a project, and then as you're going through the project, some decision will be made or something will happen in the industry, and you'll have to pivot and make core changes to the game. Oftentimes the release date isn't changed. So as a game producer, you have to work with the team to figure out how you can make that happen, how you can make that a reality, and what the changes need to be, what the cuts need to be, and then update the roadmap and the schedule and make sure the team can deliver on that. And then it's also your responsibility to report up if it just cannot be done. And let the powers that be make that decision on whether they want to still go ahead with that and what the risk may be, or if they want to extend release dates. The one that was personally most satisfying, I think, was Disney Pixar Cars, and that's why I keep coming back to it. It was a very difficult development for me. In that there were so many things going on, and I literally crunched for over a year. So personally, physically and mentally, it was extremely challenging. But the reward was that when the movie came out and it exploded and everybody saw it, my kids were so excited. And they got to point to it and say, my dad worked on that, this is so cool. So for me, that was most rewarding. I got into production relatively quick, but I think it's tougher for people nowadays to be seen and heard. I think the important thing is to continuously do good work and make sure that don't shout about it, but make sure that it's known. Choose the companies that you join and pick the teams with people that you know are going to nurture your career and are going to have an interest in you. I think that's probably the most important thing. If you have 2 offers and one of them you know you're going to just be burnt out and you're going to be a small cog in a very big wheel, then you may want to look at the other offer. You may want to go to a smaller team where you're going to learn more, because that will help your career. You'll grow more as a producer. This course is going to take you through a lot of the tips and tricks that game producers have learned over many years. There isn't necessarily like a manual of how to be a game producer. There are different styles and different approaches to get to the same goal. I'm going to take you through the way I produce games. So by the end of the course, you'll understand that. My biggest passions are teaching and game production, game development. I love making games. I love playing games. I've been very fortunate to have worked in this industry for a long time, and I would not have got where I am without people's trust in me and without people helping me. So it's very important for me personally to pay that back or forward to the next generation that are going to build the games that I'm going to play.